Hi and good afternoon Facebook Live. Welcome to today's cookie making masterclass. My name is Jody Bunting and this is our daily Facebook Live giving you ideas to help you be healthy and to lose weight. Now today we're making some keto cookies. Now for those of you not on keto, this is not just for them. If you're trying to lose weight and you want a low carb, low sugar, single serving cookie, this is for you. Now for me, that's the most important thing because we all know what it's like. If you make fresh biscuits, in fact, if you bake anything of a quantity, it's gone. We're just gonna eat it, isn't it? So this is a single serving recipe, which I think is genius idea. And what we're gonna be using today is the pea protein, so the Pulsin keto protein that I talked about yesterday. However, if you haven't got that, if you've got some Slim Fast, if you've got any protein shake, if you've got any keto shake, you can use it. It's absolutely fine. Now apparently, I've only made them with pea protein, my vegan protein, but any protein is fine. As I said, apparently pea protein is the best for this recipe, but give it a go and see how it turns out. Now it's really simple, just a few ingredients. So we are about to get going. Now just to let you know, it works out about 250 calories because it is quite a big cookie. So we're going to get a nice big cookie. And what I would suggest is to serve it with a little bit of fresh fruit. So this would be a really delicious, either a quick lunch if you're on the go or a lovely breakfast. So you could really enjoy with some fresh fruit. Now, towards the end of the video, I will give you some ideas what you could top it with. But for right now, let's get going. So first of all, we need 2 dessert spoons of your powder, whatever that will be. Now because I like to be precise with my calories, I am actually weighing that out. So if you're not really that bothered, it's just 2 big spoons of your powder. Now I am weighing out 28 grams because I know I want it to be that many calories for me. So I've got 2 spoons of my powder, which as I said is 28 grams. And then I've got some of my filtered water here. And then it's just a couple of spoons of water. Now I prefer my cookie to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to have 6 spoons of water. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6 spoons of water there in with my powder. The secret ingredient is 1 spoon of nut butter. Now I'm using almond butter because I love almonds. If you want to use a peanut butter, then that's absolutely fine. I would recommend using a 100% nut butter. So that's really important. These are a couple of brands that I buy from Aldi, but just have a quick look around. They're not that much cheaper. They're not that much more expensive. They used to be really expensive, 100% nut butters, but now they're more or less the same price. So I'm just going to have 1 spoon of my almond butter, and I'm just going to add that to the mix. Put that away. Now this is optional. If you don't like your cookies too sweet, I wouldn't add anything else. When I had it yesterday, you know when you look at a cookie and you just think, oh, you can almost like taste the sweetness before you taste it. It was a little bit disappointing. So in today's cookie, I'm going to add stevia, which is a natural sweetener. So as you know, I hate artificial products, artificial sweeteners. So if you can try and get something natural like this, that will be great. If you prefer something more simple, then go for a teaspoon of honey to sweeten it up. Or you could have some of the algae nectar, which again, these are only 13 calories per teaspoon. So I would recommend having a little bit of that if you haven't got any stevia in. But I'm just going to have, the best thing about stevia, you literally need, that's it, just 2 little tiny drops. And look, you feel like you're in a science lesson because it comes in a little droplet. And then all you're going to do, so we've got our powder, our water, our sweetener and our nut butter. And all you're going to do is mix that together. Now obviously we're making a cookie. So what you want to get is that cookie dough cookie dough mixture. And you'll actually see, if that nut butter wasn't in there, it would be really quite bland. But it's actually the nut butter that gives you that lovely cookie dough texture. If you think of Haagen-Dazs cookie dough ice cream, you can like almost imagine that lovely cookie dough. And that is it, guys. Wasn't that simple? And as I said earlier, you know, when you're making these things, just having too much of it is always the worst thing. So the fact that this is a single serving is just fantastic. So before we get it in the oven, let's just say the other things that you could add there. Now, I'm using a vanilla protein. If you were using a chocolate one, for instance, or you like really vanilla flavors, then I might suggest to add a little bit of vanilla essence. I know I've said this before, but just remember, vanilla essence, you don't want vanilla flavoring. The other option is to add some spices. So you could add some ginger, some nutmeg, or some cinnamon, just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then the other thing you could do, I haven't tried this myself, but just maybe a couple of fresh blueberries if you want to add a little bit of freshness with that. My other ideas, if you want to supercharge it with health, you could add some chia seeds to your cookie. You could break up some mixed nuts as well. That's another good option. You see, you could have a different cookie every single day. And then the other obvious one you could add would be some desiccated coconut, just to give it more flavour. So those are my options. And now you should have your lovely mixture. And I've prepared here greaseproof paper on my baking sheet. And what you're going to do is just scoop that all out. Now, depending on your protein shake or whatever shake you're using, you obviously need it to go flat into a cookie-like shape. And you don't want to be messing around too much. So just bear in mind, depending on your shake type, you may need less or more water. So just bear that in mind. Now, we're only going to bake it at 180 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. So we don't want this cookie to be too fat. We want it to be nice and flat and wide. So I probably would have added a little bit more water to this. I'm just trying to push it down a little bit. Now, at this stage, to get your calories to 250, you can add little bits of chocolate on the top. Now, before we do that, I'll just show you my favourite bit of this recipe. Lick the spoon. Amazing. I could literally just eat that. Eat like that. Great. So that's your cookie dough mixture. Now, officially on the recipe, this is where you could add, like, break up a little bit of your favourite chocolate bar. If you've got some chocolate chips in, especially dark chips, you could just sprinkle a bit of that on so it would melt into the chocolate and obviously work out really nice. Again, your alternative could be a couple of blueberries on top. I haven't got any real chocolate in, but I have got my favourite Sweet Freedom chocolate syrup. So what I'm going to do is just swirl a little bit round, and there we have it. So that is my single serving cookie, which we are now going to pop into the oven. Before we do that, Alexa, how long left on the timer?
You have 30 seconds left on your 10-minute timer.
Perfect, Alexa, thank you very much. Because as you would expect, I have prepared one earlier, and that is in the oven. So we are going to get that out of the oven when Alexa alerts me in just a couple of seconds. Just preparing my unit. Right. Thank you. Alexa, stop. So, I'm popping that in the oven. Oh yes, look at this. Alexa, stop. Now one thing, Alexa, 10-minute timer. Now one thing I did, Alexa stop. Now one thing I did forget to do was to put on the chocolate on there. But it's not a big problem because remember I am using a chocolate liquid, so it doesn't really matter if I add the chocolate before or after. If you're using real chocolate, as I said, I would recommend a dark chocolate. I would definitely do it before because then it's going to melt into the cookie. But this way, oh yes. Now this cookie today has actually turned out better than the one I made yesterday because that is a fatter cookie. So then it's, yes, perfect. Look how, did you see how that just slid off the greaseproof paper so easily? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your 250 calorie giant protein cookie served with fresh strawberries. Voila. And as I said, you could try it with loads of different powders. If you've got some old Slim Fast lying around, chocolate flavour, banana flavour, whatever flavour you have, cook it up exactly like this. Add it to your nut butter, add a little bit of water, a little bit of topping of your choice, and again you've got a really healthy light meal or delicious snack. And shall we eat a bit now? Yes, of course we are, because I want to show you the consistency. Now, because I've made this one a little bit fatter than the others, it is, look, a little bit like cookie dough. For those of you who had cookie dough from an ice cream place, that is going to be hot. Delicious. So, so delicious. And if you have a little bit of that, with a little bit of that, taste sensation. So that's it, guys. If you're loving this, then at the end of this video, click on the notification to be notified when we are next live, and I'll be back again soon with more recipes and delicious things so you can enjoy losing weight. Thank you for joining me. See you again tomorrow. Bye.